Hey there, we're back. This week we're looking at documentaries, our favorite documentaries. And Ruben, you shared one already, but you have another one for us this week?
Yes, I would like to talk about the 2010 documentary titled Beyond the Lighted Stage.
Hmm.
Beyond the Lighted Stage about the rock band Rush. Now, Rush is a band that had a kind of a following among real hard rockers, metalheads, but also straight ahead prog rock. They're under several different genre classifications, but I think it would be a mistake for people to avoid this documentary if they don't like Rush.
Hmm.
I like the band, but beyond the taste of this of what you have in terms of musical taste, this documentary says a lot about hard work.
Hmm.
It says a lot about what it takes to be successful and what you're willing to put in. Um, it's also a celebration, of course, of music, and it really documents this band from the early 70s and what they accomplished, but you get a lot out of it in terms of these are children of immigrants.
Hmm.
If you look at Geddy Lee, I mean, his parents survived the Holocaust, and Alex Lifeson's parents, I think, were from Eastern Europe.
Hmm.
And so Alex Lifeson's the guitarist, Geddy Lee's the bassist, drummer Neil Peart. It's a lot of fun to see
Hmm.
the adulation even among their peers
Yeah.
of who these guys are, and the just the love that other great bands had for them. Kiss, Gene
Hmm.
Simmons is interviewed. Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins and Rage Against the Machine members were interviewed because their musicianship is
Hmm.
top notch. But you see the behind the scenes, the creation of this genius was built from hard work and the work of immigrants. And early on, you saw that their parents, Geddy Lee's parents, said, "This is not music. What is this? What are you
That's
doing?"
right.
Um, and the demands that these parents place on these kids.
Hmm.
And you see that sometimes as teachers, we see that immigrant parents sometimes are really more demanding than parents born in this country. Have
Yeah.
you seen that before?
Oh yeah, for sure. They expect more of their kids, and
Yeah,
they have more respect for the teachers, I think. Hmm.
absolutely. There is a moment in the movie that is worth watching. I mean, if you just see this scene, it's so great.
Hmm.
But Alex Lifeson, this great guitarist for Rush, he was a kid. So they had home video of him as a teenager.
Hmm.
And they're saying, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" He goes, I'm leaving high school. I'm
Hmm.
dropping out to work on my music." And they were like, "What?
Hmm.
How could you?" They were so disappointed. These hardworking immigrant parents are seeing their kid drop out for a rock band. And Alex Lifeson at one point says, "My parents, at one point, I think this all the BS of high school." Alex Lifeson was saying, "This is just BS," and the parents were saying, "We want you to stay." And Alex Lifeson, as an adult, as a rock star,
Hmm.
said, "My parents were right. I thought I knew everything." The humility of this kid, of this man, who even as an adult who made it,
Yeah.
said, "No, I was being a bit disrespectful to them, and they were right. I thought I knew everything." And that really resonated with me. This idea of this guy, even though he succeeded, recognized the importance of working hard, staying in school.
Hmm.
He's an anomaly. He's
Yeah.
an exception, and that was really powerful.
Can I ask you a question while you're sharing that? I just thought, I mean, obviously this is a great documentary. I enjoyed it as well, but I became more of a fan after I saw the documentary. Were you more of a fan before you saw
I've
this
I've I've
or
liked
after?
Rush for many years.
Okay.
I think they have a couple of songs. I will say, I think Spirit of Radio, that song is one of the greatest songs
Mm.
that's ever been written. It's just power. It is a powerful song. And anybody who's listened to Working Man, which Neil Peart, by the way, did not play drums on, it was their first hit.
Oh.
Working Man, it is fantastic. It speaks, and by the way, it speaks to the working man.
Mm.
The lyrics are great. It is their first hit that blew up in Cleveland, because they weren't really making it in Canada. You couldn't really. It was
That's right. They're
called,
Canadian
like,
musicians. That's right.
yes, they were like a backwater. There weren't
Mhm.
really great studios or record companies in Canada. So their first hit was Working Man in Cleveland,
Mhm.
and it's a great song. So if I were to pick, it would be hard for me to pick my two favorites, but it'd be Working Man and Spirit of Radio, where both are just great. So they just have really good songs.
Yeah.
But
Can I ask you also? You think, and they could really go on without Neil? I mean, I know they've done some things after he passed away, but I mean, are they?
they're trying. I think they're.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
It's tough.
know. There's rumors that they might come up with something else, but I will say this. Last thoughts on this documentary. There's a moment where Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins said that he sat down, and at one point in his life, he could play every single note to 2112, which is one of their albums.
Yeah.
He could play everything. And it's fascinating because a lot of great artists have first started off as emulating another great artist that they respected.
Mhm.
I think of that as Somerset Maugham. We did a whole week on him.
Oh, yeah.
He first started just copying down the words of great writers. So he has mentioned this in interviews and certain books, but of writing down great writers and then building his skills, because that's where you start. You
Yeah.
start by respecting who came before you. And it was really refreshing to see some of these artists talk about Rush and how they respected their artistry as men who worked hard. And by the way, Gene Simmons, who toured with them, Kiss took Rush on tour with them. He noticed that these guys did not party.
Oh, that's
They
right.
played, and then they went into their hotel rooms, and Gene Simmons is like, "Hey, there's women all
These
over
rockers,
this hotel.
yeah.
There's women all over this hotel, and they're knocking on the doors of Kiss." And Rush would just go in and just, he would wonder what are they doing when the hotel door closed, and they brought their guitars. They were still working and still building who they eventually became, this
Yeah.
great rock band. So great documentary, Beyond the Lighted Stage.
Yeah, on the light stage. Well, there you go. Thank you for being with us this week as we went over our favorite documentaries, right? And hope you come with us again on this ride of being on Pod and Deliver. And have yourself a wonderful week. And we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.